Alright guys, so this is a game called the Stanley Parable. It's the Ultra Deluxe Edition. I haven't played the first one. I'm hoping to really kind of get to the bottom of what's going on with old Stanley here. Hopefully we can figure that out. I hope you guys enjoy the ride. If not, I'm sorry. Good luck.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, so the main rundown that I had from this is that really it's just a little fun mystery game, really, is what it boils down to. I know that you have quote-unquote choices.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It's similar to this, where, you know, it'll tell you where to go and what to do. I'm thinking, just so we have a basic understanding of what to expect, really, from this, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna follow the instructions the first go around. I know there's, like, multiple endings and you know, type deal like that, but
yet there was not a single person here
figure
either.
it out.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Don't tell 432 about my meeting. Group cabal planning. A bird. Office party. Ooh, ooh. Want to get rid of the death sport portion of the primary. Size of demographic, teenagers, a lot of percent. Space between the teenagers. Throw some ideas in the ideas bin. No more bins, trash cans, renaming of the ideas. Firing of me, ideas bin. Like yourself, but more inclined. Interesting. Okay.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
FA is fuck all.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I don't owe you an explanation, old man. The future's now, old man.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. All right. Sure, okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley quit incredibly by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad. Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Right.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
The guy's a little quiet. I try to balance it out for you guys, but
This is the story.
he's a little bit on the quieter side. I kind of want to be able to hear him a little bit clearer.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Sure, man. If you say so.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Sure, okay.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
427, 427, 427, 4. Hey, look, there I am. God, what a horribly sad looking office. Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh no.
But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
No, for real though, where...
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand,
where did the console go?
but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Okay.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
And we
the
got a
feeling
cutscene.
of liberation.
Let's go.
The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
If you're happy. The end is never the end. It's never the end. It's never the... Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
My show workers. Oh no. Alright, I think this is...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I don't understand the steps. I mean, this part of the construction just doesn't make sense.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't think so, Big Papa.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stan. What?
Sure.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are
Fuck
you
off,
that
old man.
convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
I don't care what you
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
No,
Give
fuck
me a
off.
chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly.
No.
Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Let's go.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel
Yes.
free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Suck my dick, yes.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door?
Dude, such a
Well,
fucking genius.
It's
No
instinct mostly.
fucking
A
way.
calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul.
Felt
You
it in
can't
my
teach that,
soul.
Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Whoa. Let's go. We got a leaderboard. Woo. Stanley, no. A dead rat. Nice. All right.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Sure.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
No.
Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
This sounds awful. Oh, this is horrible. This just sounds horrific. Alright, baby's going to the fire, I'm sorry.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more.
Oh, hell
Come,
yeah.
let's
This dude's a
venture
sick
outward
ass
and see
guy.
what else is out there.
You know, I actually played Firewatch, and that's actually a really good game. Like, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't slow. It kind of,
No, it can't be.
you know, it got right to the chase. You had your, your tutorial, your
It
fun
is.
little times.
It's
but
an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Jonesy.
You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
No,
Preferably something with walls.
No.
Something with nice, big,
No.
insurmountable
No.
walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Fuck off.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must.
Surely.
Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Let's go. Fuck. There is no jump.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Ew, it didn't explode.
Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm... Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Woo. Finally. Oh shit. Might be. Okay. So ew, it's my office. Fuck off. I don't respect you people, you sick fuckers. sorry, I've been swearing a lot today.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no
I think
other
I'm going
way.
to make my own
Once
story.
this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Shut up. I don't want to hear what you have to say, pal. Sweet.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I haven't done all the
When
old
Stanley
stuff yet.
came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
This dude's gonna get so pissed off with me just cutting him off constantly. It's gonna be so cool.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Canon event.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Okay.
Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Sure.
You see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time.
Sure.
The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Yeah, okay.
What do we want? What
you
are
got,
we
weirdo?
looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
What is okay? It is very pretty, but there's a door here, so
No, wait. Where are you going?
stairs.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Huh? What?
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Thought about it.
No! Oh, thank God. No. No, no, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Because I'm not happy, sicko. Shit.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy? Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
Just, is there
I
a
know
way
you'll
out of this?
see. You'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
I mean, granted, it is pretty. And I'm not entirely trying to be a dick. But, and I can't throw myself off of that. Back to the stairs.
No, perhaps not.
I'm sorry. But it has to be this way. It simply has to be this way. Ever so simple. What the fuck?
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Don't sound so sad. You're just watching a grown man kill himself. Totally fine. Totally fine. Normal things happening here. This is a Tuesday. It's a normal Tuesday type deal.
Is it over?
Damn.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Don't worry, old chap. It's like it never even happened. I'll be back.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nah, dude, forget
The
this
lounge
place.
was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I wish. See, I don't
Stanley
know
was so
the
bad at
difference
following
between straight and
directions,
left, so
it's incredible he wasn't fired
threw me
years
off, you know
ago.
what I mean?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Where's
I'm
that
not
guy
your
going?
enemy, really.
I want to go
I'm
that
not.
guy's direction.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What? Women scare me. Women scare me. Okay.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold
can't
on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh no, maidenless.
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
Oh,
Did you actually think you had
flip.
a loving wife? who'd want to commit their life to you?
Shit.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
This is the reason I was going to kill myself, pal.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Oh,
now
shit.
he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Jesus.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
The boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought
look at them
that his
grippers.
decisions
Holy
would mean something
shit.
was almost too wonderful to behold.
God damn.
As he wandered through this
Oh,
fantasy
no.
world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy.
I have kids.
And so in his head, he relived
I
it
have kids.
again, and then again, and again, over and over,
I have
wishing beyond
kids.
hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Just one more time. I love you.
But there is no
Oh,
answer.
what
How could
the-
there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm
Okay.
trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here,
Let
he's
me
slowly
in. Let
killing
me in.
himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this.
Yeah.
Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I'm doing it.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
Oh,
How
shut
can I tell
up.
him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll
We're
try
not so
once more to
different, you
convey
and
all
I.
this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
Dr. Evil.
Perhaps. Well, maybe this
We're
time
not
you'll
so
see.
different, you and I.
Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again.
Oh,
And
shit.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Please die. Please don't be here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I think that's
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Almost
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
All right, fine, you got me.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was supposed to talk. Oh.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Sure.
No, not the right.
God.
Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
All right.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just
Where am I? There I am. I'm all the way down there.
It's all rubbish now.
Yeah, for
The
2
whole
seconds.
story
Let's
completely
go.
unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
What is that? Is that a damaged screen?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Turn off. Golly, these people not locking their computers when they stand up and walk away? What about the security risks? Just anybody could walk up and mess with it. Good lord. Oh.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or...
I didn't touch
Why
anything.
am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
An adventure. Surely there's nothing this way. Surely there shall be nothing this way. On a flippin' Tuesday.
I'll
This
say it.
sucks.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
No.
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
What? No. Oh. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
is this
meeting room.
different?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I guess not. I guess this one was the one that was like this, and the other one had the white window. I suppose.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this
son of a
wrong.
gun.
It's possible the story is back where we just came from. why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. Door.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story.
No?
Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
It's
Now this...
different
Well, I'll
again.
be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! Yeah. I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So,
Sorry,
good job.
I'd actually scream, but I live in an apartment building.
Oh, no.
People
I
are
don't
gonna
feel
get
right
pissed
about
off
this
when
at
I start
all.
yelling.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No. Hey.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line.
Yeah, but it
How
doesn't take
simple
into
is
account
that?
the flipping computers, pal. All these people getting their... What if I don't?
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Oh, okay. The line! Dude, it's Belatro. Can't turn that one off.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
To destiny.
Nope. Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yeah. It's pity. What? This is the right one.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Okay.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Bring the music back.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
No. Yeah.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through...
It was fate.
Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
No. I'm a freak out.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Sure.
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
Right.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
I agree.
This all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Sure, man. Yeah. Let's do it.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
No.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Sure.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
Eventually.
Well, in the meantime, if you...
What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Where the flip are they? Where are you?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No thanks.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
In this
All
economy?
because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something
nuts.
occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh, shit.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Yeah,
Were they
it was
simply
one of the
repeating?
Same.
No,
like,
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
Yeah.
This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief
poor
Stanley
fella.
felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Perhaps
And he thought to himself,
And
I
there's
suppose
just
I'll
one
wake
that
up
repeats more
soon.
than the other
I'll
two.
have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was
Oh
so
my
much
God, it's
fun,
Neil
and Stanley
deGrasse
marveled that he had
Tyson.
still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? and everything went black.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed
Honestly,
dead
how
on the
disrespectful
sidewalk.
of the body. It
And
shouldn't
although
have
she
been there.
would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
Obviously.
Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
No, I thought I was dead. I thought it was over. I thought it was over. Anyway, I believe that puts us at right around an hour, and we had completed the first. I believe this is the first game, none of the new content. So, I say new as of 2 years ago, but still newer content. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call it here. I'll start working on editing this and putting it out, and then I'll work on the second part, and maybe we can maybe we can have fun with that one too. Thanks for stopping by.